Today we're talking about the distance formula, and we want to find the distance between 2 points. So here we have two examples. Find the distance between A, B if A is equal, or if the point A is 3, -5, and the point B is 1, 8. So we'll use the distance formula, and I always like to write down the things that are never going to change. We're always going to have the square root. We're always going to have two groups joined by the parentheses. Those groups are going to be squared. We're going to have addition in between and the minus sign. So those things are never going to change. The only thing we have to worry about is our x sub 1, our x sub 2, our y sub 1, and our y sub 2. So I'm going to substitute those in. So we have the distance is equal to the square root of our two groups, and always minus sign in the middle. So x sub 1 is going to be 3. X sub 2 is going to be 1. Y sub 1 is -5. And y sub 2 is 8. So our distance is going to be equal to the square root of 3 minus 1, which is 2. That quantity squared, plus -5 minus 8, which is -13. And we want to make sure we keep that parentheses around to make sure we square that negative sign as well. So the distance is equal to the square root. 2 squared is 4. And -13 squared is 169. Then we get the distance is equal to the square root of 173. And we plug that in our calculator, and that is approximately equal to 13.1. We use the same formula. Find the distance AB if A is 7, 11, and B is -1, 5. Have the same formula, so I'm not going to rewrite that. I'm going to go right to the substitution portion. I'm going to write the square root. I'm going to write the things that don't change. Okay, those things never change. We have two groups. We have two minus signs. We're going to join them by addition, and both groups are squared. Those things are never change. So x sub 1 is 7 and -1. The reason I keep that negative is because sometimes we forget if we add a -1, we leave it as 7 minus 1, which isn't correct. Next, y sub 1 is 11, y sub 2 is 5. 7 minus -1, that's adding, so we get 8 squared. And then we get plus 11 minus 5 is 6. So we get 6 squared. And we do the square root of everything. So then d is equal to the square root of 8 squared, which is 64, plus 6 squared, which is 36. And then we add those together. We get d is equal to 64 plus 36 is 100. And the square root of 100 is 10, so we leave that as an equal sign. This is an approximation because 13.1 continues. It's not an exact answer. We use the equal sign because the square root of 100 is 10 exactly.